I hate to say it, it's only going to be going one way, and that is Novak Djokovic will win Wimbledon this year. I can't see him losing. Simply too good. So dominant here at Wimbledon, and I reckon he's going to get to number 24 and 5 Wimbledons in a row.
The only person that can stop Novak Djokovic in this tournament is Novak Djokovic.
Andy Murray. Oh,
yeah, sorry. Or Sir Andy will come on. Other than that, it'll be Djokovic against his own body. Can he keep his body fit for the whole 2 weeks? If he can, probably name on the trophy. She has the easiest draw out of everyone. And I feel that Iga will win Wimbledon. She had a practice tournament this time. She didn't have one last year. She probably learned from her mistake.
I'm going to be going for Donna Vekic, the one with the 17th easiest draw according to AI. And I'm going to be having Donna Vekic winning Wimbledon 2023.
I would love to see Novak Djokovic take home his 24th Grand Slam title this year at Wimbledon. And I would like to see Sabalenka win as well.
Sebastian Korda claiming his first Grand Slam title. On the women's side, I'm going past the Pinko.
Kicking off on the men's side, Novak Djokovic will have as many Grand Slams as there are hours in the day. And on the women's side, I'm going with Ons Jabeur. She's going to be your women's champion. Let's go!
Another big win for Novak Djokovic in the men's singles. And for the women's, I think Ons Jabeur is going to make us very happy, and she's going to take the women's Wimbledon title.
Djokovic's dreams of a calendar slam are going to be shattered again. And it's the little Spaniard that's going to do it. Carlitos Alcaraz will win Wimbledon.
Hey, welcome back, tennis fans. It's the quarterfinals of Wimbledon. This time, we're on the women's side. And we had some dramatic things on the men's side, I have to say. But on the women's side, today, it was really plain sailing for some of them. Some of them due to injury. Some of them just bagels flying around in the fourth round, which I didn't expect to see whatsoever. We're going to get stuck into all of it. We obviously had a young superstar crash out as well. Mirla Andreeva. I mean, we have to start talking about her, don't we, JG?
Well, in day 8, the best women's match was Madison Keys versus Mirla Andreeva. The other 3 weren't great matches. Let's be honest. They were all straight sets. I mean, the Rybakina one only lasted 5 games. And it was just dominance from one player and the other one not looking very good at all. However, Madison Keys Andreeva had a different kind of feel. Andreeva was all over her. And it is honestly remarkable. I think we'll start with her because the story is special. We've got the tennis letter in saying Mirla Andreeva should be nothing but proud. She was ranked 834 this time last year. I know we're talking about Chris Eubanks and how far he was ranked. Nowhere near the likes of Mirla Andreeva. Eubanks has always been on the cuffs of being a good player. Andreeva's come from nowhere. She is only 16 years old, and she's reached the quarter. Well, she didn't reach the quarterfinals. The fourth round of Wimbledon. It's always confusing when it's just R4. Makes you want to read it like that. But the fourth round of Wimbledon, one step away from the quarterfinals. And I mean, she was 4-1 up with advantage to go 5-1. She had a good chance of even doing it, but she can't beat herself up. At any age, it takes some guts to chase your dreams. She's not just chasing them, she's achieving them. Only the beginning. And if you go down, we can see a photo of her. You can see how young she really looks, and she's got a brilliant personality. I love her in the media room. Just full of joy and excitement all the time. Yeah. And it's just a breath of fresh air.
I totally agree. I thought that this matchup might be a step too far for her until I saw how she was playing in the first set and a half. She took the game to Madison Keys, and Madison Keys didn't really know how to get her game going. She wasn't allowed to play, and Andreeva just stepping in, hitting winners. Her recovery skills. I know I said it on the last women's pod or the last day pod that when she played, but it is incredible. She was making Madison Keys play another ball every single time, and some of them she was missing. And then she was getting herself back in rallies. and it all seemed to be going great. Everything was going hunky-dory until, like you said, there was the break point for 5-1, and she just didn't manage to get it. Madison Keys, fair play to her. She suddenly turned up. She something gave her a kick up the backside because she started playing, and boy, did she start playing well. She started playing like the Madison Keys that has just come off the win at Eastbourne and just like stormed through this tournament up until that first set, really. That's the first time I've seen her sort of like a fish out of water in this tournament. I thought that she played incredibly well, and you sort of saw Mila Andreeva's head go down a little bit when she realized, oh no, this is suddenly all unraveling. And it had that feeling about it because Madison Keys wasn't letting up. She was playing her best tennis as of when she got back onto serve again. And yeah, unfortunately for Mila Andreeva, that's a learning curve. But what an amazing tournament she had up until that point. And I can't sing her praises enough, to be honest. I've seen so much good tennis from her this week that it's one of the highlights of the tournament for me.
Yeah, I think she is a real standout of the tournament, one of the shining lights, and she can't be too hard of herself. We're going to see her here plenty more times, and I'm sure the other slams too. Only 16 years old. And just to reinforce your point about Madison Keys, it was before today 8 matches where she's won in a row in straight sets on grass. So she won Eastbourne. She beat Kasatkina, Coco Gauff, Martic, Wang, Martin Sova in that victory at Eastbourne. I mean, 16 sets in a row on grass coming into this one. And then she lost the first set and almost lost the second and lost in straight. So I think that speaks volumes at how well Mira Andreeva played. And Madison Keys, she is my finalist for a reason, because I believe she can get all the way to the final. She is in top form. You could maybe argue the most informed grass court player playing or left in the tournament.
Well, it doesn't get any easier for her in the quarterfinals. As we know, she will be playing Sabalenka, and Sabalenka looking absolutely amazing. Let's just finish up with Mira Andreeva, because I feel that we just have to touch on a few of the things from the match because it was such an amazing match. And
it was the only one really on the women's we can talk about in some depth, because the others, the opponent wasn't good enough.
Whitewash. But yeah, there was a warning. I know that she was frustrated. She obviously had the chance to go 5-1 up, and then she lost the set. And she threw a racket towards the bag. She wouldn't throw it at anything else, but it is on a grass court. And she did say in the press conference, I deserved the warning. I threw the racket. It's grass. I led the score by a lot, and I was just frustrated. Yeah, I feel like it's understandable. She knew she shouldn't be doing that. And she is 16, so she's still like learning. The fact that she only sort of did that, it didn't seem that bad, but you can't do that on the grass. That's all.
I've seen players play for 20 years plus and do it week in, week out. And I mean, you sometimes just never really get over it. But you don't see people criticizing them. She certainly should not be criticized.
No.
She's 16 years old. Just leave the girl alone. I mean, it was a heat of the moment. It's going to happen. She's not going to be perfect. Nobody is. And I don't really want to attack her at all. On the incident where this one here saying when she got a point penalty that gave the match point to Keys, she was saying to the umpire that she fell and slipped. And she also said that in the press conference as well. Looking at this, she clearly lost her footing. She released the racket, but I think the umpire could have let this one slide, sad ending. Yeah. I don't believe what she was saying. I think personally she did kind of slip, but she definitely threw the racket as she slipped. It was a bit dramatic.
She didn't need to let it go, I don't think.
Maybe you can just let it go. Come on, it's Mira Andreeva.
It's match point as well. I mean, I don't think it was like that bad. It wasn't like the first one where she just launched it towards the back.
You can kind of get away with it because she was slipping. So that's why I feel like maybe she shouldn't have been picked up on it. But if I had to make a case, I guess it probably was correct that she did get it, because I felt like she did actively throw it. It's a bit like in football when there's a penalty shootout and there's a penalty being given and there's contact and the player goes down.
Yeah, I mean,
Like sometimes the contact's so minimal, they've just kind of dived. And that's how I felt here. It was, she did slip, but then she threw the racket on purpose. I don't think I don't think the two are related.
no, but overall, I don't think it would have made any
No.
difference. I feel Madison Keys, she was on the up.
She was done at
Angela-
that point anyway.
Yeah, she was mentally beaten. I feel like Madison Keys had really stepped it up in the third, managed to win the third set 6-2. So well done to Madison Keys. She goes through into the quarterfinals. Mila Andreeva, it ends here, but we may get to see her somewhere else. As Bastian fucking says, Netflix choosing to follow Mila Andreeva for the Breakpoint Season 2 from Roland Garros onwards could end up being $1 million move.
Great decision. This is who we want to see
Yes.
as the face of tennis. And I think hopefully, if a lot of people watch this documentary on Netflix, like they did with the Drive to Survive Formula One one, I know that was a massive success, and a lot of people have started watching Formula One since. Then I think it's great because she is a good person to be advertising as the face of the sport.
You're like an ambassador, isn't she?
Yeah, I don't know how to word it. Like, she's a good person to be focusing on. I think people will get involved in tennis watching her because forget the tennis. You need to be more than that nowadays. And she already has glimpses of being a real funny character. She makes me laugh. There's not many tennis players you listen to and you actually think she's actually very funny, or they're funny, they've got a lot of charisma. She's got an abundance of charisma. Very interesting. I'd love to get her on the podcast. It'd be a big improvement from talking to you.
Wow. Feel that from seeing even before Roland Garros started, you'll be lucky to even get close to her. Like the management will probably have her tied up and
Netflix will now as well.
That's it. This is what I mean. So chances of getting on a pod. I think she had about 20,000 followers before that ball was even hitting Roland Garros. So that's how much big that she is on social media. So now she's probably blown up beyond all proportion. And who knows? We've got the US Open coming up. I feel she's just getting better and better. So don't be surprised if we see something big again come the next Grand Slam. Don't want to put too much pressure on her. Just let her grow in her own time. But she is, well, hitting the ground running, let's say. And I was listening to the commentary while they were doing it. And apparently, when she came into tennis, like obviously they were talking about ITFs, which so rare on the BBC to even talk about an ITF, which was nice to hear the word ITF mentioned. And they did say that she came through, and when she played her first few ITFs, she just won them all. she just came in as like a 14-year-old, played ITFs at like a 15,000, 20,000 and 60,000 and just wins them all. So there you go. That's why she's already at this level, plays in her first slams and goes deep in both, really. Roland Garros was not bad for a slam, and this one, an amazing
for a debut
effort.
slam, very good. And of course, Wimbledon followed it up. So I'm excited for the US Open. Moving on to the other players, I think it's important to speak about Rybakina and Sabalenka. And the reason I want to highlight these two is because we watched Iga yesterday, and she's the third member of the band. We've always got a big three. I don't know why in tennis we always like to group players in threes, but we've got it on the women's as well, in the Saba, Ryba, and Iga trio. All the as at the end. Have you noticed that?
That's it.
Who is impressing you the most out of them three? Because I don't know if you want to bring up the stat, Ben, but it's the first time we've got all three of them in the back end in the quarterfinal.
That's it. That's exactly right. The first of many saying here as well. There are the trio, the big three, as they're known. And to answer your question, I think bar one set in this tournament, which I know that I don't know what happened. It's like her mind left her body for a set, Sabalenka against Glacheva. Other than that, I think she's been the most impressive on this big three so far. Today she looked impeccable. There was not a foot wrong in this match. And Alexandra, tough competitor, and she absolutely battered her. 6-love in the second set.
Yeah, I can't even answer the question. I don't know how to rank all three of them at all. I think they are the big three for a reason. And I'm just, well, if you just go up a little bit, we can read the tweet. It was the first time Iga, Sabalenka, Rybakina are in the quarterfinals of the same Grand Slam tournament.
Yeah.
And it will be the first of many, I'm sure. I don't know who's looking better. The one important note is with the draw, Iga's on her own half and the
Yep.
other two are on the other. So instantly that's got to favour Iga to get to a final because she avoids the other two until a final. These other ones, they'll have to play in the semis, Iga and Ribba. No, sorry, Saba and it's too many us.
Yeah, Ribba, Saba, Iga. Right. So I think I like the fact that you've pointed that out because that is, we don't have to look at the form so much because if you did look at the form, you'd probably say Iga was third in the form, and you'd probably say, I would go, yeah, Saba, Ribba, Iga in form, but due to the fact of the draw, maybe that bumps Iga up.
And Rybakina won this event last year. Maybe that bumps her up as well.
No, it's too tough. It's Joey
Nothing
G.
separated them, and that's why it's interesting.
But she does have a tough match coming up next, and it is a replay of last year's final. Yes, that's right. We don't have to wait till the final to see Ons Jabeur versus Elena Rybakina. We've got it now in the quarterfinals. What a matchup this is. And Ons Jabeur, now's your time to shine. They don't have all of the nerves of the final, and now you can get your revenge. And that's what she was actually talking about in a post-match press conference. She absolutely smashed Petra Kvitova to pieces today. It wasn't even close. 6-love, 6-3. I thought it could be a breadstick in the second set as well at one point. I thought this is going to be highly embarrassing for Kvitova. She saved her blushes a little bit. But Ons Jabeur looking fantastic. She was the underdog today as well. She came through, and I think that I'm not too mad at some of our comms team picking her as maybe the eventual champion here. She's been to the final once before. She's amazing on the grass courts, and maybe she could challenge. Is she the only one who can challenge the big three?
Before I speak about Ons Jabeur, I want to speak about Petra Kvitova because that was absolutely spineless and pathetic today. A champion like Petra Kvitova just didn't turn up, looked uninterested, poor tennis. I mean, she's been in such good form coming into this. She was maybe a contender to win the whole thing. She's a top 10 player, Ben. She's 9th in the world, Petra Kvitova. She's been here before. How's she only finding 4 winners and 26 unforced errors? I'm really disappointed in her. I think she was the worst performer of this round by far. Hopefully you put her on the thumbnail as the loser in red because I'm upset with her. She's upset me. You can see she struck a nerve.
I mean, I didn't expect it. I thought this was billed as the tie of the round.
I thought Kvitova was marginal favourite going into the match. So that's how far she's disappointed me.
Wow. I mean, I reckon it could have been evens across the board, this one. I've quite liked Ons Jabeur's chances because she's been playing well. But I thought it was going to be 3-set thriller written all over it. Nothing close. Ons Jabeur cruised through a bagel and a 3. And maybe that's going to give her some confidence. Well, she's going to be up against a fresh Rybakina. And Rybakina, she went through against Haddad Maia, but it was a 4-1 lead. And then Haddad Maia out due to injury, which sad for her. Really.
Yeah, it was sad because she was crying a lot. And Haddad Maia is a player I really like. She was one of my surprise packages, but she had a good tournament to a level. But just against Rybakina, clearly she wasn't feeling her best. She would have pulled her out against anyone. She got injured, and hopefully she can recover and be back soon. Makes me think, was Kvitova injured? Because the way she played looked like she was. Ons Jabeur on Elena Rybakina. I'm probably going for my revenge. It was a difficult final last year. It's going to bring a lot of memories. I hope to play like today and get the win because she's an amazing player. You can see she's like boom, boom all the time. She has no mercy.
She really does have no mercy. And Rybakina has been sort of just getting through the draw a little bit quietly, I think. She she breadsticked.
That's what she did
Walter
last year when she
twice.
won Wimbledon, by the way.
Exactly. She had Rogers, who she dropped a set. Remember, the first set of the tournament she dropped, and then she cleaned up Rogers in the next 2 sets, didn't she? It was a breadstick and a 2. Elise Cornet, a 6-2, 7-6. So that was a bit closer. Balta 2 breadsticks, and then this one just a walkover, really. Because she retired, and she's going to be super fresh. But I think Ons Jabeur will be super fresh after that anyway. I mean, it barely lasted an hour, didn't it? I think her one.
It was so quick. So
yeah, 1 hour 4.
Yeah,
I mean,
agreed.
terrible from Kvitova. I mean, she'll go away really upset, I think, about that, considering she came in such great form. She had a real opportunity for a potential 3rd Wimbledon title, but not
she
to
let
be.
down the fans today, and I don't know what she was playing at, but bad day in the office for Petra Kvitova. Of course, fantastic player, and she's had a good event, but didn't turn up today.
Yeah.
What's next?
So, well, I think we're going to go and have a look into each of the matchups now. These are the quarterfinals. We have Iga versus Svitolina at the top. Pegula, Vondrousova, the ones that no one's talking about so much, and that could be at your own peril. They're the next one. Ons Jabeur, Rybakina, just spoke about that, and Keys, Sabalenka at the bottom. I mean, looking at those sections, you'd have to say the bottom section scares me a bit. It's a pretty scary. All 4 are horrible to go up against right now.
4 of the best players at Wimbledon. 4 of the best grass quarters in the world. I think the 4th number, if you had to pick the 4 best grass quarters, I'd put them 4, and I'd put Iga 5th, in my opinion. Let me know if you guys agree in the comments. Just want to say, I know I said it on the men's one earlier. Go watch the men's quarterfinal preview. We did it in the exact same format as the one we've done today, but just for the men. And if you are watching this one, hopefully you're enjoying it. But we've only spoken about the bottom half today. If you want to find out what we had to say about the top half, so Iga, Svitolina, Pegula, and Vondrousova, have a look at yesterday's episode. I think the title, something about Djokovic.
Day 7, I think it was.
Yeah, it's the Day 7 podcast, and you can see all of our thoughts on the top half of the draw. Let's go through it. First up, Iga Svitolina.
Wow. I mean, what a matchup this is. I can't wait. I feel that this one, I'm excited because of how
Iga's just scraped through Bencic. Can she beat Svitolina, Ben?
Well, they both had epic matches in their last round. Svitolina, you thought that Iga's was dramatic, saving the match points, and then you saw that epic tiebreak from Svitolina in her match, and 11-9 in the final set tiebreak. This one, I feel it's going to go 3 sets. I feel that Svitolina is going to come out strong.
Before you actually say your prediction, bring up the aces, because it might help with your decision-making quickly.
Good idea, though. Right, here we go.
So let's look at the ladies. So Sabalenka's leading the ace charts with 33, Rybakina 26, and Svitolina 23. So she's 3rd on the list for aces, meaning she's serving big. On the men's, no surprise, Chris Eubanks leading the way. Only man left.
Bublik as well in there. That's pretty good. I mean, Svitolina served up 8 against Azarenka. Yeah, it's a solid serving performance. Her second serve, not so great, though. And that's where the worry will come in for me. If she doesn't find enough first serves against Iga, you're going to be in trouble. She can put them away. But I feel that it's the equalizer. The grass court surface for Iga, it means everybody else gets a little bit closer to her in level. And we saw what Bencic was able to do. Svitolina, I feel that she's been playing better than Bencic, and she has a lot of desire. She'll have a lot of crowd on her side, I feel, Svitolina. She's really been getting the crowd going this week. Is it enough to beat Iga, though? That's the big question. I think it's going to be 3 sets, but I don't think it's going to be enough to beat Iga. I feel that Svitolina will take the first set, and then Iga will win in 3.
Yeah, I'm also going to be going for Iga in 3 sets. There was a statistic on her deciding set victories, and she's won 10 at the last Grand Slam. So I'm confident in her in a deciding set, and I think she will win that one in 3. Next up, Pegula Vondrousova. This is another one which, like you said, people aren't talking about, but Vondrousova could be dangerous. Pegula will be the
Yes.
favourite. I've been impressed with both of them this event. Who's going to win? I think it's tough. I think it's going to be 3 sets again. I know we've not seen many 3 sets in the round
Yeah.
before, but this time I think we are going to see some. And I'm going to go for the surprise and have Vondrousova beating Pegula in 3.
I don't think that is the surprise, if I'm honest. I know that
It's
she's
got to be not the favourite though, right?
she's
Pegula's
the
surely
underdog,
the favourite.
but then I'm looking at who they've played coming into this round, and the body of work from Vondrousova compared to Pegula, I'm sorry, but it's much better what she's had to get past. She's got past Stearns. I'm going to give her a pass on that one. Kudermetova, tough. She beat her in straight sets. Vekic, tough. Beat her in straight sets. Bauskova, really good on grass. Beat her in 3. So, and then Pegula, she beat Sorenko, Cocciaretto, Buxa, and Davis. So it's not quite the same level of competition she's faced. I'm going to go Vondrousova to win this one. I'm going to go Vondrousova in straight sets.
Ooh. So we're agreeing so far. Let's go to the bottom half. Ons Jabeur, Rybakina. How do you see this one going? Repeat of last year's final.
I think you got in my head a bit with Pegula being a great loser as well from yesterday's one. So I don't know. Maybe that's got in my head a bit. This one, it's a real tough one to pick. I'm going to be going Ons Jabeur to win it. And I'm going to be going Ons Jabeur in... It's going to be 3 again. I don't think they're going to be able to do a straight sets, these two. They're too good, both of them. Ons Jabeur is going to knock out the reigning champion, get the revenge, and she will make it through to the semi-final.
I disagree with you. I think Rybakina is going to win again, and this time straight sets. I don't think Ons Jabeur is going to get a singular set. I'm all on the Rybakina train. She's getting better as the tournament's going, and I'm confident Rybakina is going to beat her.
She's pretty fresh off of that, last match. But like we said, she hasn't really played anybody of note yet. I mean, Alizé Cornet, that was pretty tough. Cornet took a bit of a bad tumble in that match as well. So nice to see Rybakina go over and check make sure she's all right. She's a very nice player as well on the tour.
Yeah.
Right. Last but not least, Keys, Sabalenka. And this one, I would say it's pick of the bunch, but the other ones are just as good. So
yeah, they're all really high standard, but that is my favourite match as well.
It's really hard to pick because obviously we've got the last year's final is in the one we've before. So Saba Keys. I mean, if Keys plays like she did against Andreeva in the first 2 sets, I feel Saba's gonna clean her up.
It might already be over.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think that she'll get any mercy from Saba.
She won't be able to do a comeback like she did against Andreeva against Saba.
No.
But what she could do is if Saba's serving for the second set and she breaks her, she may be able to win in 3 because Saba then could lose her mind and start double faulting. Saba is prone to a wobble. Let's remember that.
Before we make a decision as well, just to throw this one in there for you, they have played once before on grass. That was back in 2021. That was in Berlin. And Keys won in 3.
Well, I already know what I'm picking, and that is Madison Keys is going to knock out Sabalenka here, and it's going to be in 3 sets, with the third set being a 6-2.
It's pretty crazy. I'm going to go Sabalenka to knock out Keys in straight sets.
Knocking out my finalist, eh, Ben?
Straight sets, and it's going to be... I think it's going to be quite convincing. 2-2.
Straight set? Sorry.
Yep. Straight sets.
No chance. I'll give you a bet off stream, mate. Keys is getting more than 4 games.
That's what I'm
Put
going
some respect
for.
on her name, Ben.
You've got to go big. I've got to go bold on something. And I think if Sabalenka wants to take her out, she needs to do it like that as well.
So at the top, we both have Iga Vondrousova. At the bottom, we differ completely. I've got Rybakina Keys. You've got Jabeur Sabalenka. They'd all be awesome semi-finals. and we'll be covering them all on Game to Love. So please do join us. We have some time off work where we're going to be covering a lot more matches, me and Ben. So it'll be great to see you in the watch-alongs. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, go and watch the men's quarterfinal predictions, which we posted about an hour ago.
And tell us your ones as well. I want to know your predictions in the comments section as well. Tell us what your semi-finals were. Did you get the same as us?
Exactly that. Let's go, Madison Keys. Get to that final. And if she can't, I'll be happy if Rybakina wins the whole thing. As long as Ben doesn't have Iga winning it.
Well, I need the Iga Jabeur final.
Oh, yeah, that's what you've got, right?
Yeah, that's what I have, yeah.
Fair play. Ben doing very well on the women's one, so we'll give him some credit for a change. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you later.
Ciao, ciao.